Hello and welcome to today's session of programming. Today I have with me Tim Beek from Moderne. Hi, Tim.
Hi. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to have you. And today we want to try a little bit with AI and OpenRewrite and how to modernize an old banking app. Okay. So I'll try to explain the basic concept right now.
It's nice to in the evening do something very different from my day job, which is modernizing banking apps. So,
okay, but I didn't know that you are specified on banking apps. That was just maybe a lucky guess. All right. So I created this little repository, and in this repository there are a couple of sub-modules. So first of all, we have this legacy banking app, which is a separate repository, and it basically it's AI generated. Here in this example, I just wanted to create something that we can modernize in a fun way, in an interesting way. So it uses very old Java. I don't know. I think it uses Java 7 or something. Some SOAP web services. It uses a Swing client, so it's separated. It's a Spring application as a server and a Java Swing client as the client. It uses an old Postgre database.
It's not to be confused with Spring Boot 3. It's actually Spring Framework 3. So
yeah,
it's
exactly. Yeah, and I also created a Docker Compose so we can start that easily and have it working. So it does work. I can show it later, but that's the app we want to modernize.
And for now, it works.
Exactly. It shouldn't work anymore, but it does because it's Java. It's timeless, basically. So I added also the rewrite repository as a submodule where all the recipes are in there. I'm not sure if that's even needed. We'll find out later. And then I have a rewrite recipe legacy banking. So the idea is that the AI will generate OpenRewrite recipes into that repository that we can then apply to our legacy banking app. And it works, but it's modernized.
That's good.
That's the basic idea.
And the idea, of course, is to generate these recipes to automate the larger migration so that you can reuse those recipes on all the 20 other legacy banking apps you still have.
Yeah, exactly. Well, okay. The basic idea, what I thought is that if you have these OpenRewrite recipes, you have something that is very deterministic and where you have a lot of control over, and you know exactly what is done. In contrast to modernizing with AI, where you just kind of hope for the best.
Yep. Yeah. You're flipping 10,000 coins and hoping that they all land exactly as you hope.
Yeah. Right. And this is the rewrite recipe starter. So I just forked this repository. I think that should be the Moderne rewrite recipe starter. I just renamed the packages as instructed here in this README. Yeah, okay. So I explained Tim beforehand what I wanted to do, and that if we open this repository here, that I created some skills for a GitHub Copilot. So GitHub Copilot can use existing OpenRewrite recipes and write declarative recipes or imperative recipes. And I try to write these skills down And while explaining this to Tim, Tim told me, well, there's basically a much easier and better way to do this. Tim, can you explain what we can do to make this better?
So on our end, of course, we're working on the same challenges. We're working on with like large companies that similarly want to migrate their own legacy banking apps. And what we have developed on our end is we already had a CLI that our users tend to have installed. And what we now bundle with that CLI is a way to very easily install these types of skills, commands, instructions, depending on which agentic tool you use. And it just comes with a command to say install the Moderne agentic tool for Claude, for Copilot, for Windsurf, whatever you might be using. So as much as we appreciate the work you put into the skills, we have the same. We have,
but so probably better tested, right?
At least they've been used more than once. So
yeah,
we'll see how they hold up.
Exactly. Okay, and so the Moderne CLI. You have to log into the marketplace here. You have to create an account, which is basically one click if you have a GitHub account.
Yep.
And then,
we have a public instance of Moderne, which is available at app.moderne.io. And if you go there and you click on login with GitLab, Bitbucket, or GitHub, then you get this view, and then at the top right, there's the easiest install instructions for the Moderne CLI. And we also have, if you open that one, it'll show you for whatever operating system you have, instructions for, let's say, Homebrew, if you're on Mac, or Chocolatey, if you're on Windows, or a zip file, if you're like me on Linux. Then, and all of them give you the same CLI to install, and then from there, install the skills, and optionally use the CLI as you build out these recipes.
Yeah, okay. And I just did that. So I downloaded the Windows executable. So it's just one executable. And I copied it here. I didn't install it. And then we can use it here. Mm-hmm. So I navigated to that repository path, and you showed me that command, which was really handy. So that was it, right? The mod config modern skills update. Yeah, we can download it again.
Yeah. And what you'll see is that this installs the skills that we have and makes them available for Claude on the second line, or for Copilot on the later lines. And then it just makes it available to use directly in those tools. So myself, I use Claude a lot, and then it's one slash away. Copilot sometimes needs a bit more convincing to pick up the skills, but we'll see how that goes today.
All right. So it created or downloaded these files. Can you explain these 4 files? Because I don't know what create organization, for example, does.
Yeah, sure. So we use these skills as we create new recipes. And then after we've created them, we also want to validate that they work well on a large scale. So that is something that we have built into the Moderne CLI when you use the serialized LSTs that we have. So some of the skills that you see, those are only usable if you have Moderne. But one of them is like create an organization or run a recipe. And I use that a lot whenever, like today, I think I created a dozen or so recipes. And then every time I create one, I say, let's try it out against these 1,000 repositories in the Apache GitHub org. And then it'll run my recipe. It'll give me the result across those 1,000 repositories. And then from there, enter an iterative loop to improve those recipes. So the first thing that we'll look at today is the creating of that recipe. That one, you don't need anything beyond just that skill file. And then to try it against the Apache org, that's where you need the CLI to be able to do that. So yeah, that's the various skills that we have.
So if you say you run it against so many repositories, it executes the recipe, and then you just check out if it's if there are any errors while applying that recipe, or do you also like validate the results?
Also validate the results. So there'll be a diff from there. They'll be applied. We can check if the project still compiles. I'm not going to have 4,000 projects run the unit test, but usually the compiler is a decent indication whether it actually already works.
So, wow. All right.
But it's that scale element that gives me confidence that once I've built a recipe and that I can give it to others. And probably I've seen some variety already with all the Apache Maven projects in there and larger other Apache projects as well.
Okay. Cool. That's great. Okay. And we already downloaded those instructions into that repository, into that folder, because that's where we want to have the finished recipes to be existing. So I'll remove those again. Yeah, so that's the first step. And then my plan was to use these prompts. I created some prompts beforehand, which basically just, first of all, check out that legacy banking app, or at least it should do that, and discover what reusable recipes can be used.
Yep.
So what I will do is just copy this and paste it and see how that goes. What kind of model do you usually use?
Myself, I use Opus 4.6, I believe, is the latest.
Okay.
And then, so Claude, basically, and then use that one.
So there's, I have 4.6.
Yep.
Let's try this. I still have...
Hope you have enough tokens.
Yeah, I have enough for today. That's what matters.
But worst case, I have some guest passes for you, so we'll make it work.
Cool. We don't need this, but yeah.
And this is why we hope that it's fast enough to make the stream still interesting in some way.
Yeah. Oh, we can look at the prompt really quickly.
Yeah.
Of course, these are also AI generated, but what I found was that if you put or plan your actions into separate prompts, into separate steps, it works much better than if you have one super prompt that should actually also cover all the stuff you want to do in one step, but try to do in one huge step. It doesn't work really well.
No, I know. No, this is where you want to have a few projects in parallel that take the weighting out of it that you switch between, and then
yeah. Do you do that? So
constantly, yeah. So,
really? Okay. That's interesting, because I thought that's like 4 projects is a lot to have to switch the context all the time, right?
Yeah, it's all relative. It's
all right. I guess you're getting used to it. Yeah. Okay.
So in my case, I've of course been community lead for OpenRewrite for 3 years plus now, and all I did for a long time was a lot of these reviews throughout the day as you do other things. And now it's just Claude doing the coding, and I still do the reviews, but it's accelerated the work there.
It's leaving the boring tasks to you.
Yeah.
Communication and handling clients and stuff.
But at least now, whilst you're in the meetings, you can still do some coding on the side.
That's true.
Not right now. Not right now. I'm single tasking.
Great to hear. Okay, but it should analyze the legacy banking folder and determine which OpenRewrite recipes should be reused. There are plenty of those, and we can actually take a look at that. No, where was it? Was in this one. I'm not really sure. Okay, I added these skills here, and I opened the chat in this
Yeah.
project. So I don't know
So
if
it
it.
might not get picked up then.
Yeah. Blah, blah,
We're still in
blah.
the analyzing phase. We're not yet writing recipes, so you don't yet need the skills, I think.
Yeah. Find existing open. Well, it would find existing OpenRewrite recipes probably because we have that folder here as well.
So to that point, whenever we develop a new rewrite recipe module, we tend to not link in the rewrite repository itself, but we link in the rewrite docs repository. So all our documentation is Markdown, it's open source, and that way Claude has a way to like find the relevant pages rather than try to reconstruct that from the sources.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, to reach your own. Yes.
Yeah, it's probably easier for the AI anyways to find the documentation or to use the documentation because it doesn't need to execute the actual code that these recipes execute. It just needs to know what these recipes do.
Yeah. And of course, on the point of finding recipes to execute, that is where we also have our own internal tools where you can have that CLI will have a marketplace of recipes that can be discovered through like MCP tools. We're not going to set that up today. Like we're just going to see how we get on with the current tool set. But just to give a bit of color of how we use these tools ourselves.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, but in this one, we want to run recipe, right? That's the skill it should use at some point. No, it shouldn't run. It should actually neither create a recipe nor run a recipe. It should find existing recipes.
Yep. Yeah, so that's a different tool. It's not a skill that we have. It's more a tool that we expose through the CLI. Like I said, no need to get that set up just yet. And, so we do have a workshop that we sometimes give at conferences where we similarly run folks through the steps of what you need to do if you do these types of modernizations. And there's a few recipes that we recommend folks start with.
Yeah.
And if you want, I can show you that while we have Copilot in the side trying to reconstruct the thing.
Yeah. Sure.
So
we can try that.
So for that, we have a recipe, and maybe I can share it with you in the private chat, and you can pull it up if you wish.
You can share your screen as well, so whatever suits you well.
So then I'll share a tab of that recipe. Yeah, you have it as well. That works.
Okay.
So this is a recipe that we typically recommend folks start with, because what this recipe does is it helps you analyze where you stand in your project, especially when you run it across different projects, maybe in parallel, as like me, you're on different things. And the goal for this recipe is to produce a data table. If you scroll down just a bit, you'll see that it produces a data table with the Java version migration plan. So this, if you run it on an individual project, it's just going to give you one data table with one row of data, which is not very spectacular, let's call it that. But you can imagine if you run this on a couple dozen, it's very nice to, at a glance, be able to see, does it contain any Java at all? What version of Java is it using? What are we targeting? What kind of Gradle, Maven build tools are we using? And then that starts to inform the first steps that you run as you do these upgrades. Because if you find that you're on an ancient version of Gradle or Maven, and you know that you need to be on a certain version to support, let's say, a newer Java version, then your first step would be to get that sorted. And there's recipes to do that. There's other tools to do that. That's kind of usually our first step.
Yeah, and that's a very manual step. So that has nothing to do with AI. It's just analyzing the project by a certain with your semantic tree, right?
Yeah, the lossless semantic tree is indeed what the representation that we build over a project to run recipes to extract this type of information.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a recipe. It builds this tree and then extracts the information, and based on that information, then you can use the next recipes that you want to use. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think it's done.
Okay.
Summary. Recommended first pass. Okay.
That's a very granular way of doing your upgrades.
Yeah. Change property value.
Yeah.
What?
It'll work, but it's there's recipes we have to allow you to do that in a more, let's say, higher level of abstraction.
that update the complete Java version, right? And find every corner that can be improved in the Java code, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Going all the way back to Java 5, if you just say upgrade to Java 11, which is the name of the recipe, you'll not only change the property value, but you'll also get all the feature adoption, you'll get all the necessary changes, you'll get compatible versions of Lombok if needed, and all the goodness that is encoded in there. So,
okay. So this could be improved. Upgrade dependency version. Okay. All right.
Plausible.
Yeah, upgrade plugin version of the Maven compiler. I'm sure there's an update.
That's integrated into the upgrade Java to upgrade to Java 11.
Okay. Yeah. Servlet API. I don't know why it wants to change this or use this. Remove method invocation. Class for name, was that removed at some point?
I don't think so.
But it
doesn't. Interesting to see what reason it has to make these changes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna execute them in a very deterministic way. If you
yeah. I mean, it didn't write these recipes yet, or the usage of the recipes. No. Because what we want to do, we don't want to call all these recipes manually, right? We don't want to call one Maven command for each recipe. We want to compile those recipes in our rewrite recipe legacy banking repository, so that we can apply this only one single recipe, and then it's good.
Yeah. So you want to the terms we use is you want to create a composite declarative recipe. And that then can run all of these in sequence in one go.
So
there's a recipe in there. Sorry, I'm just intrigued. The one on line 6. On line 6, that one is 1 day old. So
okay,
it already picked it up.
Well, I did upgrade my repository of rewrite. I upgraded that yesterday.
It's in a different stop module still. So it's not in the rewrite repository, it's in the rewrite static analysis. So I don't think we even have a release with that one out the door yet.
Okay, that's strange.
But no, we do. It's as of 3 hours ago, so all is fine.
Well, okay. So that's good.
Huh.
But use try with resource, really? That's
it's as of Java 9, you can use try with resources on variables instead of variable declarations. So
okay.
And that is then part of the larger upgrades we can do.
All right. Okay, use diamond operator. So these are all very, very small steps.
Yes.
That's not really good.
Yeah, I would not give this a passing grade if this
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
the way you start to use OpenRewrite. But it just goes to show that like these tools can help, but they might also steer you down a cliff and maybe not be the ideal way to do to approach a problem.
So what could we do to improve this this usage of the recipes, of existing recipes?
So let's maybe go back to the prompts that we used to arrive at this one. So just to see what we had.
Here, wow, that's not very readable. But I copy and pasted it from here. No, not from here. 1 second. So this is this one. Yeah, prompt 1. Inspect the code and plan the files in plans. Okay.
Those files, maybe there's some instructions in there.
Yes, there are. These are the plans I used to create that legacy application, so they shouldn't be used. But it could help the AI to understand the whole structure of the system, but I don't think these are valuable for it.
Yep. So then I think that could be taken out of the line 23, because indeed it seems weird to take the design documents into account.
Yeah. So and just like this, right? So yeah, okay. So maybe this was a bad idea as well. Shall we add, or shall we just say look at the docs for existing recipes? So you referenced this one, right? Open recipe documentation.
That's an option. The other option would be that use a Git submodule of the rewrite docs instead of rewrite. That's the other way that we use it. But whichever you think helps. Luckily, you had enough tokens.
Yeah. We have enough tokens so we can do some online searching, right?
Should be okay.
Search OpenRewrite recipe documentation for existing recipes and proven implementation. Yeah.
And I would change that line a bit, because we're not yet interested in authoring recipes, which we're now linking to.
Yeah.
But we're looking to maybe running recipes. I think that could work.
For running recipes?
Yeah, so the URL right now is authoring recipes, but we also have a subpage for running recipes.
Oh, sorry. Okay, this one.
Oh, that's fine.
So is it named like that?
Yep, all good.
Okay. Oh yeah, running recipes.
Nice and predictable.
Yeah, that's good. Prepare real usable recipes. No. Well, we don't need this because in this first prompt we don't want to write anyway. Identify the gaps that still require a new recipe. Well, we don't need this as well.
No,
we don't need.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't hurt to have it, because it's not gonna. But let's look at the output and see if we can find if there's a good way to phrase that.
So
the output you have is
this IDs, recipe IDs.
So what I would recommend is command maybe to run migration recipes, because otherwise you're going to end up copy pasting a lot, or ask it to write a declarative recipe.
Right, but that's what we want. We want to actually write a composite.
Declarative
recipe in the project rewrite recipe legacy banking, right?
Should
That's
help. Yeah.
Well, that would be interesting to see what each recipe would change. Target files, I don't care about that.
No, it should be can be removed.
Yeah.
Maybe instructions for running the recipe. Be interesting to see if it picks it up.
Instructions. No. Oh,
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Instructions to run the recipe itself. Like having a YAML file doesn't yet equate being able to run it.
Ah, yeah.
That'd be...
To run the composite recipe. Right?
Yeah, perfect.
Save to apply now or not. Okay. Why not? Missing banking specific recipes, opportunities. That's something for next step.
Yep, all good, all good.
I don't want this. Yeah. So yeah, we can remove this as well because we don't want to have this gap right here. Well, this is not true. We want to.
We do want to have the recipe. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we'll do this instead of the other one. Let's see.
And do we want to clear, or do we want to?
I would have just. I would have replaced this.
Yeah,
but it's probably.
But it's probably safest to start a new one.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so new one with these. With this prompt, Claude Opus, and agent mode. Okay.
Do you have like waiting music for the live stream?
No, I just have weird sounds, like stuff like that. Or the German version. Do you know that sound?
It's I think from the, what do you call it? Carnival?
Carnival, yeah. Exactly. Oh, that's great. Because in Germany, that's like a very specific sound.
A laugh, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And I just realized as I added this to my soundboard that people outside of Germany probably won't know this sound.
It is like it recalls back like my dad used to watch the Buurtredner.
Oh yeah,
the German carnival,
right?
This features every like half a minute, I think. And
yeah, exactly. Great. Okay, this is doing stuff. It's probably taking a while. And what can we do? So I should probably put these instructions back into the root folder. That's probably useful.
Yeah, sure.
And well, we moved it over here because we thought, well, we want to have the recipes in this repository, but since we are writing in our prompt that we want to have the recipes in this repository, we probably don't need the skills right there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Should be fine.
Yeah.
Unless you want to start every chat in the right folder in the sub project, but I think this works.
Yeah.
So.
And what I can also do is some git commits. Open. Yes, this is the one. So I can add this one. Oh yeah. Add Moderne recipe skills. So these are really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm thinking we should maybe even add them to the Rewrite Recipe Starter project that you planned. Because, why ask folks to do a second step when we can just do that automatically already?
Yeah. You showed me an article, I don't have it right now, but you showed me an article about how Moderne CLI uses AI to create recipes and that you created these skills, but I thought they were closed source, that you are only using them internally. So
it's you can see the CLI anyone can download, and it in the end of the day it's like a markdown file. If we're scared of folks finding a markdown file, then we'd be not in a good business to be.
Yeah, I didn't know how big these files are. So they are pretty big. So my created files are much smaller, and well, they are pretty cool.
It's a sort of condensed version of the documentation, but then optimized for agents to read and also for them to have like a next step from the previous points. Where if you have a recipe, then you want to validate it, then this is the next step to do. Read these docs, run these commands, and just
That's what you really quickly see here. So there are some templates, some demos for this declarative YAML, and then refaster template. Okay.
Yeah. If you're not familiar, this is an approach that we copied from Google Error-Prone's Refaster, where you can write a transformation that you want to happen just by annotating two methods. So you have the before template, which is a small snippet that you're looking for, and the after template is what you want to replace it with. And you can see that in this case, that will replace kind of like awkward checking if a string is empty with the much more readable dot is empty. And that's enough.
And it really compares not the names of the methods, but the content, but in a text-based way, right? Not in a compiled way.
No, in a structural comparison of the elements. So that S variable that you see, that can be anything of the type string. So if it's a method invocation, and on that method invocation, you're calling dot length and then doing that equals 0, we would still do the replacement to method invocation dot is empty. It's a very neat way of defining small transformations that you want to do. But that's the way to test. Sorry. No, as in, the transformations you can define do have to fit within a body of a method. So you can't use this to add an annotation, so to say, or add a completely new file.
But this is a way to validate the refactoring that was done.
No, it's a way to define a new refactoring you want to do. So we have about 1,000 recipes that are just these annotated methods.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is not validating, this is executing. Oh, crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So we have 5 more variants of checking if a string is empty or not, and all of them can be harmonized using a recipe that is just a bunch of annotated methods.
Okay,
that's
cool.
It's really neat.
Yeah. It's really readable, I imagine.
Yeah, and you get compiler checks as well. Like you can't mess it up, but there is some limitations. So you can't. Like I said, you can't do anything with annotations or things like that. There's no structural large changes that you can do. And you also need to be able to compile one class that contains both the old and the new. So if like you're crossing different major versions of Spring and they remove a method, you can't compile a class anymore. Yeah. So it kind of does get you stuck sometimes. And then you need an imperative recipe, which is the third form that you see.
Okay. Yeah, and these are the ones that I really struggled with. I tried to write 1 or 2 of those, and they were really hard to write and even harder to understand.
Sorry to hear. We offer free monthly courses on how to write your own recipe. The next one is next Tuesday. So.
Well, now we have AI, so I don't... Probably or hopefully I don't have to struggle with that anymore. From what I hear from you, you don't have to struggle as well. You probably never struggled anyway.
Starting out, but that's 4 years ago. So I know. You find some limits, you report an issue, and suddenly you're 4 years in and you're leading the project.
All
Having
right.
fun.
Cool. Yeah, so these are the three examples of a recipe, and then critical patterns, immutability. Okay, so some more instructions of what a recipe has to adhere to. Yeah. Type matching. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like I said, a very condensed version of our docs, and then just various things we see folks struggle with, and this is crucial to the reliability of our recipes. We also have the unit test.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is the refactoring example that we saw? No, what was it called? Not refactor.
Refaster.
Refaster. Sorry. Yeah. But
Yeah,
that's
so
also just
really
before and after.
Yeah, also before and after. So it's very similar. If you the refaster is defining the recipe in like a before and after. This is defining the tests in a before and after. And this just we found is a great way to have your unit test, because if you look here, there's only two inputs to the test, which is like a text block going in and a text block coming out, and there is no way for AI to cheat. It can't fudge your assertions in some way to obfuscate that it's really not trying its best, because it has to be that exact block going in and that exact block coming out. So this is a very good fit to write recipes and test them in this way, knowing that the output is going to be good.
Yeah. And so the custom created recipes by default have these tests, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. And then this is data tables, structured data for analysis.
Yeah, so this is a different type of recipe you can, or a feature of a recipe you can write. So when I showed you that plan a Java version migration, where a recipe can not intend to make a code change, but can intend to create an export of some data that you want to extract, that is driven then by data tables. So sometimes that is all you want to do. So we have an example of that in the skill. But it's not typically your day first recipe that you'll write.
Yeah. Okay. Workflow. Identify the transformation. Choose recipe, write tests. Yeah, these three types: declarative, refast, imperative. And does that do these characters imply that this is the preferred way?
Yeah.
Declarative?
So we prefer the declarative ones because we have a lot of recipes that if you read like any migration guide, say it's Spring, say it's Hibernate, whatever, typically there's a lot of steps in there that are going to be fill in the blanks, like change this package from whatever it is right now, JavaX to Jakarta, rename this type, we found a spelling error and we're renaming it, change this method name, it's now subtly different. And a lot of those we can do with declarative recipes only, that you pass in some parameters. And that is why we prefer that style, because the recipes we have are going to handle a lot of subtleties. So if you rename a method and it's a static method and it has a static import, we're going to also update that import for you. And if that import it then needs to be expanded or collapsed into like a wildcard import, we will handle that for you. So using those declarative recipes is a great way to opt in to all of those smarts to avoid reinventing the wheel when you write your own recipe.
Yeah. Understood. All right, implement the recipe and test. Yeah. And then the references. Okay, so I see on the right side, it's struggling with some Gradle and JDK versions. Requires JDK 24, and I thought I had JDK 25, but I don't know what the actual problem right now is. So I never use Gradle really. So there could be some errors just because it's on my machine.
Well, we'll see. Like, is it trying to do anything with the recipe modules that we have, or what's pulling in Gradle?
So let's see.
Because if you've written a legacy banking app, I assume it's going to use and or Maven, but not Gradle.
Oh, I don't think so. I think I actually instructed it to use Maven, and is something I have no experience with, so I didn't want to go there.
All good.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's Maven.
Yeah. Here we go, and this one.
Be fine.
Yeah, this one as well. Did you work with and?
Not a lot, and not recently. But we do have some customers who still have it in dark corners, and
all right,
we help them migrate to Gradle, and then all as well.
Okay, so you also prefer Gradle?
So on our end, we have a lot of custom plugins for Gradle that allow us to do various smarts related to the way that we built our projects. We would have to struggle to do the same, I think, with Maven. But of course, our project isn't a straightforward project. We have 5-6 different versions of Java in the same project, whilst also building JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, .NET, all of it in one build. That isn't something you want to do with Maven, because you'd very quickly go mad, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Just imagining it, I don't know how you would do that, really.
So I do myself appreciate Maven, but it's not something that we use at OpenRewrite in Moderne.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so this is done. I still don't know if it's used any of our skills. Let's see. Let's see where it starts. It's built and published locally. Okay.
Is there a full screen option in the top right, I think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right.
It might help.
Okay, composite recipe. So this was the package name I chose. Written, published. Yeah, okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Reusable recipes. Code cleanup. Okay, so this is the first recipe it's using. Interesting. Parentheses, okay. Common static analysis.
That's a one that we have to resolve check styles, sonar, those types of findings. Just isn't typically required, but it's a nice to have.
Yeah. Remove unused imports. Okay. System print to
any legacy app has a lot of unused imports.
Yeah. I don't know if this application has a lot of those, because it's basically written anew, and the AI, well, it could be that the AI thought, okay, this is a legacy app, so we put in a lot of imports that are never used. That would be funny.
If it's been properly trained on legacy apps, it should do all the anti-patterns.
Okay, system print to logging. That's really good. This one I like. Upgrade plugin version. So again, it doesn't upgrade Java.
Yeah, it's just surprising.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
and why?
Yeah.
Does not support Java 17. The legacy runtime must be preserved.
But then I would say there's an upgrade to Java 11, and that would have been at least nice to see.
Spring 3.2 explicitly out of scope, preserving Spring XML. Is that something that you have to change manually as well?
Not sure exactly what's available in the open source. Like we have some recipes at Moderne to help folks across the hump. Then
we should check that out. So I am here in the running recipes. That's what. No. The recipe catalog. We were right here. So Spring. Upgrade Spring dependencies. Yes.
So this is one that is like a sub recipe of like a larger set of recipes. If you navigate up a bit and then select Spring at the top.
Yeah, Spring Boot.
If you select under Maven and Spring, so this is isn't the recipe you'd want to run. If you go back to the search, maybe. And then this, the top one is typically what folks run, or where they start with running recipes.
This one? Oh.
Yeah, so this would work. Even though their application isn't a Spring Boot application, we would still do the necessary upgrades to get you onto like Spring Framework 6 in this case. And then, yeah.
Okay. But it didn't find that then.
No. So what we gave it is instructions. If you, on the left-hand side, you see running recipes.
Yeah.
This is what we told it to look through. And what I would have expected if you go to popular recipe guide, which is the bottom one in this section, then there is instructions to go to Java 17, 21, 25.
Yeah.
And I think we might have at some point dropped the page to migrate to Java 11, and that's maybe why I didn't find it.
So is it just hidden? Because
no. I think but there is a upgrade to Java 7 to Java 11 recipe that it might have could have otherwise picked up.
But it's not on there at all.
Well, it should be. If you upgrade to Java 11. I'm gonna apologize for the quality of the search because it's not the top one. It's not the next one either.
Upgrade build.
Yeah, let's select that one. And then from that one, we can find the one that you actually should be running. So this is just to do your build files. But if you scroll down a bit, you can see how it's used by. And this is used by to migrate to Java 11.
Here we go.
And this is how you navigate to larger structures of recipes.
Great. Yeah.
This
one,
so I would say is safe to run on your project.
So I'll build on Java 8. Do we have? I think we have. Yeah, Java 8. Yeah, you're right.
So what we can do is we can. Is we can copy the ID that we have for this recipe.
Yeah.
It's Java 8 to 11.
This one. Right.
Yep. And then let's go to your IDE. And it did say that it created that YAML file. So let's look at the YAML file it created.
We should be able to see it. So. Isn't there a full screen as well?
It doesn't want to full screen it. It's,
Okay, that should be enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and now this is the YAML specification of our composite recipe. And there's the recipe list, and there's probably, well, these are not a lot of recipes. Okay. So these are without any parameters. They can just be executed without anything. But these are the ones that need a little bit of information, a little bit of parameters.
Yeah. So there's two differences, and the code cleanup and the common static analysis. Those themselves are again composite recipes that contain a lot of other recipes.
Okay. But we can simply add this one. Right?
Yep.
And then it should be fine.
and that should then include, but that's knowledge I have, the changes that you see on line 38 and below. Because as part of our upgrade, we're going to also upgrade your compiler plugin.
We'll remove this then. And yeah, Postgre is not included, I guess.
No.
Okay, still we can go through this. The SOAP REST migration, I think you said that in the beginning, that's probably not something that can be switched. Direct. Yeah, okay, so I'm using direct JDBC to communicate with the database, and that's probably also very difficult, but that could be something that can be rewritten with a custom recipe. So like
it could be depending on how if you can write a set of steps even on pen and paper of what should happen at every point, then we can convert that. In this case, wanting to go to like JPA and Spring Data, you'd end up probably with like add query annotations containing the same queries that you have, which is an option. Maybe a closer parallel would be something like joke as an option to migrate to, but to each other.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be JPA. Yeah.
So we tend to nudge folks towards things that are conceptually a very close match, because then it's very easy to write a recipe. If you want to go from, let's say, Swain to React.js,
right?
Yeah, JavaFX is fine, but going to React is going to be challenging to write out a series of steps that will always correctly get you onto the thing you want to use.
But this is pretty cool. It says it's an architecture change and it doesn't want to do that. But that would be really something, maybe we can try that later on with a custom recipe. I think that would be a good example. Oh, good
sure.
Test.
Definitely interesting to look at.
Okay, double to big decimal for money requires custom imperative recipe. Okay. So that could be something that we could do as well.
Not every double, hopefully.
Yep, for money. That's, okay, it says every double to big decimal for money. Simple date format to Java time for specific. Okay. And try with resources. Okay.
Yeah. You're using a small utility that we know that we can't handle. So interesting to see that picked up here. Yeah.
But that's probably then something that the recipe wouldn't even pick up. With resource recipe.
Yeah, it wouldn't attempt to do the change unless we're absolutely certain that we can do so safely.
Yeah, so that's like a concept of the recipes, right? That are very defensive, conservative. I think that's the word. Unless you are very sure you don't do anything, or they don't.
Yeah, so we call that like do no harm, because if you see those composite recipes, they tend to grow and grow and grow, and the ones for like Spring Boot 4, they contain thousands of steps, up to like several thousands of steps. And if every one of them would in sometimes make an incorrect change, you're never going to be able to migrate automatically. So we make each of them very reluctant almost to make changes unless we're certain that it can do so safely. And then collectively you can trust the outputs of this where we make changes. You might find that we don't make all the changes that we could otherwise do, but I'd prefer that still over having some wrong changes slip in as well.
Yeah, okay. So this is actually not bad, right? Much better than before.
Much better. Yeah. It's a shame it didn't find the Java 8 to 11 upgrade, but that's true. Some nudging, you get there.
But and like you said, it's not in the documentation, at least not without a search.
Yep. Yeah.
So that could be the case. So there would be some room for improvement on the website.
Definitely, that search option is terrible.
Cool. So it says these are the recipes. No. One second. Yeah. Okay. These are the recipes, and we can actually commit this now. So we changed the prompt, and on this submodule there was changes. No, this one. What's this? Recipes CSV.
You don't need that one. I think that must have been like a moment that Claude or Copilot without supervision started to extract some files. So we can remove that one. Just the
what
one.
We want is this one.
This one we want to keep.
Yeah. So first step of modernization. Commit this, push it, and then I think I have to update this one as well.
What I really liked in the output that we got is that we also got instructions to run it. I think it even tried to run it.
Exactly. So that's what we want to do, right? We want to see the dry run.
Yep, that would work.
So we're gonna use the terminal here.
Ooh, and you're using PowerShell?
Yes. You say that like it's a bad thing?
It's just like I know that PowerShell sometimes has trouble with detecting the arguments that we pass in. So that slash at the end, it doesn't like. It doesn't like the some of the other options. So I think it might not. Yeah. So it can't find it because of that option that we have. So if we can change the terminal to use.
That's not your fault, right? That's just
that's PowerShell being PowerShell. Yeah.
Okay, so we have to build that manually.
If we can switch the terminal to use git bash, is that an option?
We have that in that repository anyways, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so copy. This is the dry run, yes, and
I promise to folks watching this that you don't always need me on the same call to get this to work. Just PowerShell.
If you don't use PowerShell.
So yeah, it's on my list to detect PowerShell and do something better. Will be fine. But, yeah.
No, you're right. I constantly have trouble with PowerShell.
And it's not like we're doing something very exotic. We're just passing in some options with like a dash.
I fear that since I'm using this git bash, it's using a different Maven repository locally. So that's why it needs to download all that stuff.
Yeah.
It should be done soon.
Should be quick.
Yeah, okay. It's validating. Okay. Lots of warnings. This is very small. These are not a lot of changes. Okay, these recipes would make changes to banking service panel.
Yeah, so this is always like we have full traceability of the changes that we're making, so we can tell you exactly which recipes are involved. And if you do a dry run only, then we're going to create a patch file in the target folder showing you the changes that we would make in this case. In this case, you can see it's mostly for the logging and the use diamond operator. You'll see some changes. And that's the file that is printed near the end. The third line from the bottom.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, sorry, on the next line, you see a rewrite.patch file created.
Ah, yes.
And that's because
okay.
we did a dry run, and that shows
Yeah.
you a patch file of the changes we propose.
Okay, I should have memorized this. Banking service target. Yeah, okay. So this is in the banking service target rewrite, probably patch. Okay. Yeah, let's close the terminal again. And now we have a diff.
Yep. So this is just the outputs I would kind of expect. This is coming from the Java upgrade. You'll see that we removed the explicit step to upgrade the Maven compiler plugin, but it found it through the Java 8 to 11 upgrade. And then if we scroll further through, we'll see the changes for the logging. In this case, adding a logger and removing the print statement.
Nice.
It's a nice one.
Yeah, I like this. This is exactly how we use the loggers as well.
Yep. And there should be a change in there for system error becomes a logger.error.
Yeah, exactly. So the info or the normal system out is becoming an info, and the error is becoming an error, and it's also using these placeholders in the logging mechanism, which is great. Okay, so these are all loggings.
And the placeholders mean that if your log level is set to error, then for info, you're not paying the tax of concatenating that string to pass it into info to see it discarded. So sometimes it even helps performance.
Yep.
On line 118, you see the effect of the diamond operator. So that's that's one that you can already, like, sometimes folks come to us with like very old code, and then we recommend to run the migration recipe for Java 8, even though they're running on Java 8 already, because this is a change you can get whilst still on Java 8 and with no risk to your runtime adopt these features. And that already starts to get them into the habit of making small incremental improvements to their application to get them to where they want to be. So if you're starting out, don't jump to Java 25, jump to the Java version that you have, see the type of changes, and then from there, stepwise upgrade your to where you want to be.
Yeah, we used the Java migration recipe as well in some projects, and it's always great to see those like subtle changes and subtle improvements, really, because it makes the code more readable. It's easier to understand here. Okay, again, lots of logging, so yeah, that's it. Another diamond operator.
Yeah, we're gonna do it consistently everywhere. So it's not like a best effort over 10 years. It's immediately applied consistently everywhere. And that's a nice thing of automating the code change.
Okay, so we completed step 1 of this example. I doubt that we'll go through every prompt that I prepared.
That's fine.
But we actually, I don't think we need prompt 2. So this would be to build a deterministic composite recipe for a safe first pass. And that's what we did in the first pass already. Yeah,
checked off.
Check this off. Write all missing banking specific recipes. I would suggest that we read this recipe first and then use it. I think that's a better approach.
Might help.
Yeah. All right. Identify all real legacy patterns in legacy banking. I don't know why it says real legacy. But just put it out. That need modernization, and write recipes for all gaps that exist. Yeah. Okay. We don't want that. And write recipes for all. That existing. No, that.
Yeah, you could just remove that word.
I want to say that all gaps that already contained recipes of, and then the project again, do not contain. So we say, well, we already are using these recipes, don't use those. What else can you write?
Yeah, sure.
We could also, no. Okay.
You can have it say, write new recipes and then in the target project and then.
Well, that would be easier. Well, we can write that again. Write only new. Oh, what's your suggestion?
Yeah, write only new recipes to rewrite recipe legacy banking and then full stop. And
okay. And would you remove all of this? No.
Maybe up until the first comma we can keep it.
Okay. So.
And then do a full stop and then.
Different. Yeah, that's easier. Okay. So process, inspect legacy source code and plan files to identify. Okay. For each opportunity, search nope. So there is documentation for writing your own recipes.
Absolutely.
Authoring. Yeah. But we have that in the skills.
Yep. Then they link to that documentation.
Yeah. So maybe we should just mention the skill.
Yep, that works.
So use modern create recipe skill. Modern, right?
Yep.
Categorize. Nah, we don't need this. Don't want to categorize anything. Implement all missing. Well, we don't need this.
Remove that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Custom recipe.
It's a decent hint, but I think it might already be in the skill, or at least I would hope that it already knows to do this.
Yeah. No, we looked at the recipe, right? At the skill, and it says that. Add complete rewrite test. Well, in the skill. Create a composite recipe. That's what we wrote over there.
Yeah, it should pick it up already, I think. Yeah.
Build and publish the recipe project with Gradle. Well, okay.
I think it already did that in the last round, so I don't think we'd need it again. As in the command you ran for your recipe, that was already using the recipe module that you had defined.
Yeah, we don't have to say that explicitly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need this. Verify. It should be in the skill. Report all recipes, created all recipes, reused. Oh yeah, that would be something.
That's a nice one. Yeah.
Nice. Constraints.
So that's point 3 now then. We go from 1 to 2 to 10. Oh, we go from item 1 to 2 to 10.
Constraint. Aim to write multiple recipes if modernization requires multiple independent transformation. No, it should put this all in one recipe, right? We don't want this.
No, as in it's fine to remove the constraint because we already had that in some form in the instructions that we have in the create recipe. Okay. So at the end, we already had a similar set of constraints.
Okay. Follow patterns from a rewrite. Nope. Use declarative YAML when that is sufficient.
It's also in the skill already.
The skill is too good. build in a way that the final. Yeah, well, okay. We
It's
don't
also
need this.
that's both in the skill as well as in the testing framework that we have. So if your recipe is not idempotent, if it makes repeatedly makes changes, that's actually something we test for in the unit test. So that's a very nice feature that is kind of implied when you start testing your recipes, but it's very good to have. So we don't need that in our prompt, and you'll see that having a nicely defined skill makes that your prompt is going to be very targeted and specific to legacy banking, and not to anything OpenRewrite related.
All right. Okay, so this is a very small and nice prompt. And we can use this in the same context.
That should be fine.
Right. Yeah. And now I send this, and that gives me a bit of time to read through the comments. Alex says, good afternoon, everyone. I am from Brazil, Sao Paulo.
Nice.
Hi, Alex. No, Alexandro, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Victor says, I just had a meeting with a client about what you guys are doing here. That's always great. Someone in their company actually built a skill for this purpose.
That's neat. That's neat.
Yeah.
Of course, we're showing that we also have the skills and are free to use them if they want. But it'd be interesting to hear what they built and how we can learn from each other in the same way.
Yeah. Victor asks why we are not dictating an AI to do the changes you type now. Well, because it's really a short string, so I don't think it's really helpful to make these changes with AI again. Then we have to reread all of those. I think that's just easier here.
Yeah, but it does pose like a fun question of like, how do you interact with these AIs? Because I know some colleagues of mine, they use dictation a lot with these AIs. So they'll just have like a button they press or voice activated instead of typing. So all day long, it's just like telling them to do things such and such, and it's usually faster than when you type it out. In my case, I think my accent is too thick to make that work. So I find myself typing a bit to get the technical terms out easily.
But you could dictate those changes in any language you want, right? That's the idea.
Probably, but it feels to me very unnatural to use technical terms in Dutch. So
okay, yeah,
because the way we get taught any kind of IT terms is always the English words. It's never using a venster. It's a window. And then, if I start to speak Dutch to my AI, I'm going to be, feel very much out of the water there. So.
Yeah, I think actually that it's really struggling then, because then it doesn't know if you're saying a Dutch word or an English word, and then it mixes up things. At least that's what happens to me if I speak German within an AI.
Yeah.
Okay, Victor says also, hey AI, what parts of these instructions are self-obvious to you? Yeah. Okay, that would be a nice way to interact. Maybe that would be something fun for live coding, because while dictating to the AI, you can listen to it as well. It would be fun. Where's the official OpenRewrite skill to tell my clients URL?
We don't have it online, but if you have the Moderne CLI, there's a way to install it very easily. But it is just a markdown file. You just had
this one
commit added to your repository?
Yeah, exactly. We have that. Well, I have that now in this public repository, and we should have those instructions. So these are the Moderne skills that are installed, or that I installed with Moderne CLI with a specific command. I showed that before. And I will just paste that link in the comments. So
maybe
for now,
good to say it's not the official place where we host the OpenRewrite skills.
Exactly.
But it is a way to get them right now.
But Tim, if you ever have an official place where you can download those, you can send me the link and I will post it in the description.
All good, all good.
All right. AI everywhere, yes. And best AI tool I found for life in the past year next to Claude Code is Whisperflow AI. I don't know that one.
That's I think indeed the dictation tool that my colleagues use to speak to their AIs instead of typing it out.
Okay.
I've been meaning to try it out, but I haven't yet. There's so many things to do, and it's always fun to figure out what works.
But this is a great idea. It's still working. It's odd. How are my requests doing? Okay, I still have plenty of those left.
That's fine. You started on like 37%, I think. So.
Yeah. So the way Bruno Borges explained that to me this way, that one premium request is really one prompt that you put in. And it doesn't matter how long it runs. One request is one request. And you pay for one request. So it's not calculated in tokens.
Okay.
So it should be fine.
So I can then explain a bit how I use these tools, because we're waiting for the view anyway. So what I tend to do is, like, I use Claude a lot, and there it is. Like, I have like a unlimited thing, so the tokens don't apply to me, but still my time is valuable. So what I use a lot is the planning mode. So in this case, we gave it a prompt and we just have it like run off. I am maybe a bit of a control freak, where I do prefer that small planning step. Yeah. Just before it like runs off and does something for 20 minutes, I want to make sure that it understood me correctly and it's not like diving off somewhere. And that is an option. And then what I like best about the planning mode is that I tend to ask it not give me a solution for such and such, but give me 3 to 5 different solutions for such and such. And then I can choose and I can figure out if it understood me correctly. I can refine, and then I don't know, with that like 1 minute feedback loop gives me a lot more opportunities to course correct early, rather than discovering that I've been waiting for nothing for 20 minutes and I should try again. Yeah,
that's actually something I do as well. So I had Kenny Pflug on here, and he explained to me a principle he called guided coding. And that was also a big part of that structure was planning. So he did it in a file. So he let the AI plan and let the plan be written down in a plan.md file. And then he refactored that plan again and again and again. And then when he was satisfied with it, then he said, okay, execute this plan in this file. And that was the first part. And then the second part was the annoying one, where you have to refactor or check out and validate the actual produced code. That wasn't the fun part of this method. But I mean, I think it's a valid way to work with AI in a kind of secure way, where you're not just vibe coding away.
No, and like I said, I prefer, like, if I'm gonna have to look at the results anyway, then I prefer to know upfront if it's gonna run off in the right way.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And how do you find that in Claude Code? Because I used Claude Code for a couple of months, and I really had a hard time to understand where it was going right now. So in Copilot, you see exactly what it's thinking, basically. So you can see where it stands roughly by reading that text. But in Claude Code, I never had that. So it was just generating these random verbs and saying something useless and I had to wait and I had no idea where it was.
It does have that. It's maybe good to like. I'm sort of with Victor on in the chat where
Oh yeah.
I don't babysit Claude too much. So what I use is a tool called Conductor, and Conductor is similar to what JetBrains now had with like the air.dev, where you can just have multiple Git work trees work independently on different features. And that does show you a bit of the things it's working through if you open like a small drop down. So you can see what it's working on. But
Okay.
mostly I don't mind in a moment what it's doing, because I'm very rarely watching my terminal
Yeah.
as it's doing something.
If you're
Because
doing
I'm looking
4
at
things
the-
at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So then, at that point, like I don't mind as long as it comes back within a reasonable time frame. And then I don't know. There's throughout my day, there's continuous pings popping up. Like I'm done. To tell me what to do next.
Yeah. All right.
It's like every couple minutes at least. So should be. Good that I'm living by myself at the moment, because someone else would go absolutely mad. Notification.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm going through the comments as well. So perfect dictation. I'm not sure.
I think that's the whisper flow.
All right. Try Tmux with 4.6 Claude CLI instances in parallel Git worktrees. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, so that's a different tool to do some of the same. So the folks that are familiar with like having different terminals that you tap between, Tmux is a solution for that. I like a UI, so I use Conductor, but JetBrains has Air as a air.dev as a relatively new one there as well. I have 3 colleagues who each of them have developed their own variant of such a tool that allows you to just run multiple instances of Claude in different work trees.
Right.
There is a lot to choose from, but
Yeah.
definitely you wanna be multi threading this if at all possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, you just stand there and read all that stuff.
You're probably still quicker than doing it manual, but it's just you could be doing 4 other things at the same time.
Yeah.
A lot more fun.
Okay. Super skills is a must-have. Gets into the brainstorming mode. Oh, okay. For any non-trivial task, kicks and spec-driven development toolkit in my experience.
So I'm not sure if
Alright.
you have experience with super skills, but what it does, it challenges you a bit more. So every time you want to start on something, like you said, like a non-trivial, you can give it a prompt and have it like run off. But what super skills kind of does is it tries to tease out of you the various level of detail of what you're working with. So it'll first come in as like a product owner kind of role, asking you things about the feature. Then an architect kind of role, asking you about the feature. Then the technical person asking you about the feature. And all of these iteratively help you think through, okay, maybe I hadn't thought of this yet. And that helps shape then the solution that it then runs off and builds for you.
That's
It's
pretty
quite
cool.
neat.
That sounds interesting. Yeah, that's what planning for me is as well. So like iterating through your own ideas of what this function or this application that you're writing has to do or should do in the end. And so if you have a structured way to ask those things of you, that would be helpful, I think.
Yeah, I think let me try to find the correct link for that. Of course, like super skills AI, I think it is. I think it's that one, but it might be like some other link. I won't share a link because I'm not absolutely certain that it's the right one, because this has like a paid plan and I don't recall that.
Okay. Now I can look it up afterwards, and then I'll just write it in the comments or description. So yeah, Victor says the plan.md can be overwhelmingly long. Yes. Super skills get into the interview mode to key design options first to protect your focus. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That's what
Yeah, so
I
exactly
got
that.
from your description.
I think I have the right link here, if I dare.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, Victor says most of his clients transitioned from Copilot to Claude after 1 or 2 years of use.
Yep.
That's interesting. So I wasn't really happy with Claude, but maybe I should give it another shot at some time, because most of the talking or the social media stuff about vibe coding or AI enhanced coding is with Claude Code. That's the main player right now.
It is to my opinion the one of the better ones right now. So, and of course different purposes, different, like sometimes your company only offers the one thing from the thing that where you buy everything, and then you're kind of forced. But we do hear quite a few folks moving towards Claude where possible.
Oh, interesting. No one actually reads all that. Copilot keeps blubbering in there. Yeah, I understand. So that's probably just my thing. So most of my AI coding is done in my private time, and then I usually play a game a while programming, and then I like if I can read on this other monitor what it does and where it stands. But that's probably just my use case.
Yep.
Okay, Victor is installing Conductor tonight. That's good.
Nice. Let me know how that pans out. Like I'm very curious to hear. And of course, there's alternatives as well. The air.dev is similar in what it can do, but they are respective of the limitations that Claude imposes, that you can't use it through something other than the Claude terminal. So Conductor doesn't have that limit, I think. So that kind of works for me.
Okay. And I will prefer to recommend to my clients tools that I know are developed with Claude. Okay, that's a guarantee for fast feature flow. Wow, that's a statement.
Well, one thing I really like about Conductor as a tool is that they have a feedback form, and the feedback form is pretty much give us a prompt. Give us a prompt on how to implement the feature that you're asking for, or fix the bugs that you're doing here.
Okay.
And it becomes like a self-healing thing.
That's cool. That's really cool. Okay, but this is taking a very long time. I'm not sure if we are still on the right track. So let's see what it has done so far. Okay, it has created some files. So this template, this rewrite recipe template, has a lot of Java classes out of the box, and I think I have to remove them, right? Because I don't want them.
You can, or you start a separate package not containing those examples. But what we like about having an example project is that there's pretty much one of each in there. So if you want to have an example of running a data table, or you want to have an example of using a trait, then there's pretty much one of each in there. For your own libraries, of course, you can remove them immediately, but then you need to have like a separate clone that still has those examples for you.
Yeah, but I don't need those in this project.
No, you don't need them deployed to your own recipe module. This is always fun to see what it's actually done.
Yeah, so it's still, I don't know, checking out some stuff, but we can check out the code. So this is about migrating simple date format to newer Java format. Well, and I can't read those. This is just...
That's fine.
Unreadable.
So far, so good. Like the one thing what I like to start with is, can we navigate to the test? Because I always find it very easy to understand what it's trying to do if we open the corresponding unit test. Ideally, that kind of shows us like also that it's not able to cheat. In this case, it's running the recipe.
Yes,
that's much better. And it turns the new simple date format into the datetime formatter of pattern. So ideally, that is mostly going to be the same. But of course, the usages of simple date format versus datetime formatter, I'm not sure if they're like one-to-one can be swapped into place.
Yeah.
That's my first worry, that like if we didn't have this one, there's probably a reason that we didn't have this one.
Probably. Okay.
And here you see a bit more of how it's being used. So it's calling that format originally, and we convert that to the to local date time and then format. So there's some admirable attempts to change it here. So let's see then from here, because I think this is the last test, if I see it right. Then no, that doesn't change anything because it's already done. So then let's look at the implementation, see what is actually, how it's trying to achieve this.
But this is one of those tests where you said it shouldn't change already existing stuff, or already changed patterns.
Yeah, so this is part of enforcing that item potency, such that we're not matching if we're already done or not making any changes. And then, but also all the other tests, also they've, after having been run once, they get run again to make sure that they actually stop making changes and not start appending to a list. Which, if you start out, you're going to see that once or twice, and then you learn.
All right.
It's like your first time using recursion. You need to have like an exit the loop at some point.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the actual recipe.
So can we scroll all the way to the bottom? Like I'm curious to see if they added another method or if it's just this one visitor. So all the way to the bottom, it's just the visitor method. Yeah, okay. That tells me something about the approach that they're taking.
Okay.
So the visit method invocation, this is probably the easiest one to grasp. I see some things I don't like, but that's fine.
So this is checking, for example, if this is used. And this is not checking any text per se, but it's really checking for that type.
Yep. Yeah, those exact types.
Class.
So you see, in this case, what we're visiting is like a method invocation. So the method invocation that we're visiting is the dot format being called on simple date format with some arguments. And what we're doing is on line 106 and 107 is that we're extracting the select, which is the thing that we're calling dot format on. So the simple date format is the thing that we have on 106. And on 107 is we're extracting the first argument being passed into that format method. And that is then assigned as well. And then we do a bit of sanity checks, like are we actually calling it on the right types there? So line 109, that is a bit crap. It's not needed. We can remove it. Line 110, same story. We don't need it because if you look at the on line 105, that SDF format, if you look to the definition of that one,
it doesn't do that with
control
and click.
Yeah.
Control shift? No.
Yeah.
With IntelliJ, it's control click.
Right click. I don't know. So here you can see that the method matcher that we're using here on line 54, that already has that Java text date format as the first thing it should match on. So no need to check that again. And if we were to use the SQL format thing that we saw as an argument, we could pass that into the format as well, within those parentheses. And then we wouldn't need that secondary type check in the visit method invocation. So I can see some improvements.
This one. Yeah. But this is not a big error or something. It's just not necessary.
No, it's just a needless complexity. And
yeah.
You sometimes need to tell these tools to like trim it down a bit. Right? Like, do we need all of this? Look, I have to maintain it, so I'm always very strict. Like every word I read should at least have like some meaning and a reason to be there.
That's
and
good.
I look for all these opportunities. And then,
Okay, so this one says all 7 tests passed and asks if it has to install. I will pause this anyways.
That's fine.
We can look through the recipes and let it continue.
Yep.
Okay.
That's I think that's a subtle way of rate limiting.
Yeah.
You a prompt everyone.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, and you probably have to pay another like request for this, a premium request, which is all right. You know, it's been working quite some time.
That's another fun thing about that conductor tool is that it runs in full like a Ralph Danger mode. So every question gets answered with yes, and there's no waiting or confirming anything. It's just it does a decent attempt at sandboxing, but you kind of like have to let go and let it run.
Well, but that's what you need to do. If it runs in the background and you want to do something else, then it needs to do the stuff.
You can't wait for having to press enter every 5 minutes.
Exactly. Okay, do you want to look at this some more? Maybe find out if there could be an error, because this is not... you said you were a bit unsure if the pattern is always the same, right?
I'm skeptical of making this specific change at all. So what I think the case is going to be is that from the very limited scope of your application, this might be a fine one-to-one swap in that you can do.
Yeah.
Whereas they aren't as interchangeable for us to trust that we can always, in these thousands of Apache projects that I validate again, can swap these out without subtle changes in what gets printed.
Exactly. But that's the reason why we write these recipes anyways, because I don't want to write a recipe that's valid for everybody. I don't care about that. I care about my application, and I want it to be refactored in a good way, in a safe way for this application.
It can be very tailored to what you need within your organization. And if you know that you're never going to use Chinese week year in your date format, then it might be safe enough to do it this way. And that's also the nice thing about recipes, that you only need, let's say, once, because you're only going to do this migration once across maybe a lot of applications. But the moment that you're done with it, you can toss the recipes and you'll have deterministically migrated. And you don't need to maintain them. Whereas I am going to have to maintain them for the next decade. And
exactly.
And any imperfection is going to be work for me over the coming years to fix.
Yeah. All right. So this is the result. Legacy patterns analysis. Yes. Identified. Okay. So it has the pattern.
It's really deterministic. It really wants to do something with the class for name. I wonder what it's turning it into.
Remove static driver registration.
Is it going to get auto discovered?
Is this a new recipe that it wrote? I'm not sure what that. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Remove static JDBC driver registration.
So they're automatically discovered as of like a service loader. That makes sense. Yeah. So there's a service loader mechanism in some jars that then get picked up, and you don't need to explicitly call this one.
Okay. So let's look at the test.
The change is very simple. So you load it there, and then remove the whole thing.
Okay. I'm not sure if, it doesn't. It really just erases this complete block.
And to be clear, again, this is like, if I would need to maintain this, I would want to be very, very sure that this is always safe to do. But in your case, this might be fine to run on a couple dozen apps. So.
Yeah.
But if you're wondering why we don't have this one, it's because it's maybe very opinionated in how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
We do have recipes like this one. So there's a if you go to JUnit 6, then from that point on, you can only run your tests on Java 17 or higher. So if you have any tests annotated with @enabled on Java 8, then we're going to remove that test for you. So very much the experience you see right here. You have something and now you don't. It's something that we do have from time to time.
Okay. That's brave. But one thing, like what OpenRewrite does, I'm pretty sure of that, is if there is something else in this static block, it doesn't remove the complete block. It
shouldn't, no.
Yeah, it just erases this line or maybe the complete try block, but it's with this lossless tree, it really sees, okay, no, there is something else in this static block. We don't want to touch that. Let's leave it.
Indeed, typically, well, we have small utilities that you can call, like I removed something. Now, try to figure out if my container block was empty, then remove that block. If that means that the next container block is empty, then remove that one. And so cascade up and do cleanups as needed. Mm-hmm. But indeed, in a typically safe way to do a very surgical one-to-one change.
Yeah.
I don't know for this one, since it didn't exist until 5 minutes ago. But yeah.
We can take a look at this later. And it only wrote 2 new custom recipes, and we took a look at both of them.
And the rest is reusing existing ones.
But we already have those. Like
if you scroll down, there's a new declarative ones as well. So that's the for the compiler plugin, which we didn't really need. We'll come up a couple of times now. Is there further things that we can find that it did? Let's recommended some manual changes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, some manual changes. Mm-hmm. But that's what it said in the beginning as well. All right. Okay.
Alexandro is leaving. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had,
thank you so much.
Yeah, good that you had fun. And all the best.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a look at these files, and then we'll glide into the end really slowly.
Yeah, sure. So I think the declarative recipe could be interesting. Yeah.
So these are the declarative ones, and how can I execute this complete recipe? Is there a way? Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. So the command we used in the git bash shell earlier, is still going to be the exact same. So
okay, let's read this really quick. No, is this the right one? Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fine.
So it does the dry run with the active. Okay.
And that's your specific recipe. Yeah.
Exactly. And legacy banking modernization. Where do I see what's contained in this? It's just my complete repository.
So if you look on line 8, that name that you have there, that is the exact active recipe that is also on your terminal. So the legacy banking modernization, that is the one-to-one link there. And then what's contained within that is everything that you see within the recipe list. So that is line 16 and down.
Yes. Okay. So this is not just my declarative ones, but also my imperative ones. They are declared here.
Those. Yeah. So they're referenced, and the order of them is fixed. So it's going to first do your common static analysis, then your unused imports, then your Java 8. And that order sometimes is important when making these changes, especially when you are reusing the building block recipes that we have. So if you have a building block that renames a method and then one that changes a type, this you might want to do them in that specific order and not the other way around. Otherwise, your matching should be using the new type instead of the.
Understood. Yeah. And one of the things I noticed, I used OpenRewrite like 1 or 2 years ago a bit, and what I noticed was that this building of this tree sometimes took a long time, but then when it was built, the actual execution of these recipes was really fast. Like that didn't even recognize, but the building of the tree was the one long thing, but that's only done once, and then all the recipes are executed one by one.
Yeah. And then that is like the one thing that separates OpenRewrite from Moderne is that we serialize that model of your tree. So we can run a recipe in seconds. It's how I can validate against those thousands Apache projects, is that I have them saved to disk. And that's kind of
yes,
where a lot of that speed and validation comes in as well.
Yeah, you offer some kind of cloud services as well for that, right?
It can be cloud, but it can also be local on your machine. So depending on your flavor, it'll be one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so one thing we should do is execute this, right?
Yeah, sure.
As a last task.
And the neat thing you can see in the output from the previous one is that it took a minute to execute the last time around, and we had that estimated time saved of 27 minutes. And that is gonna hopefully be more with this execution, where it's gonna still take you a minute to execute. But hopefully we're making more changes this time around as we have some new custom recipes added. And we're going to see more time savings from the automated migration that we do. And the changes are going to be partly the same and some additional changes. So you can iterate on this very safely. We're only making the dry run changes. And then the moment that you're happy with your patch file, you can apply it and move to the next project and apply it there as well.
Okay,
this is better.
1 hour, 2 hours, and done in
30 seconds.
So why is it faster this time around?
Do you recall the last time that we were looking at a lot of downloads of like recipe modules?
Oh yeah. Okay. So there was nothing cached, but only the Maven build, the Maven download was faster here.
And then under target, we have that export again on the legacy banking.
What was it? The service?
Target, rewrite.
Oh, yeah.
And this should now additionally contain a lot more changes. So these, I think we've seen the last time around.
I'm not
now
sure.
The Java.
Yeah. But it should have done that last time as well. Yeah.
Yeah, when we did the Java 11 migration.
Yeah. This one is also, is that for Java 11? That Jakarta change?
I'm not sure if we had like a Jakarta recipe in the larger composite. It could be, but
I don't think
or we
so.
pull it in as part of the Java 11.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's with Java 11.
If you want to have a look at why we're making changes, that is in the console. So you should be able to see like we're pulling this in because of such and such and such. If you scroll to the pom.xml file, so the banking service pom.xml is changed for all of these reasons.
Yeah.
And some of them are to pull in the JAXB dependencies with runtime. And then this full traceability of the changes, and you won't get this with AI running your recipes or AI automating your code.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. And it didn't even make any changes because we used this dry run, so we can see what would be done, and then execute it. That's
if you want to tweak it, you can still do so. You're not like 3 hours in and half your tokens gone for the week.
Yeah. But you can still tell your boss you used AI, so everything is fine. Yeah.
All of this looks good to me.
Yeah. We should look for these simple date format stuff. That would be interesting.
So
but it really
the drop in.
Yeah.
Both the declaration as well as the usage.
But it was only on on 2 instances basically. But I'm not sure. Did it execute here as well? No. It didn't.
Depending on where we executed, it could have been picked up, or it had no changes there.
It should have changes.
Where did we run the git bash terminal?
Yeah. That's probably.
Oh, that's in the banking service. So that should probably be in the banking client. So the path that we're executing in.
Oh yeah, the path. Okay, yeah, but we can imagine what would happen. So this is basically the same command, right?
Yep.
And it shouldn't download anything, right? It's
not if you've built it at least once the project, it shouldn't download anything.
I didn't in the git bash. That's why it's probably
that might be
downloading something. Anyways, okay, but we accomplished something. So I'm actually quite happy with the result. Even though we can't show everything now, but these 2 prompts were pretty good. I'll commit those. Adjust the create a recipe prompt. And yeah, it did some, you said decent recipes, right? They are, yeah. They compile, they work.
they run, they make the changes, they have tests that they can't cheat on, so it's a decent effort.
Yeah. If you want to have that in your project, that's on another page.
I would have some questions before I adopt this, yes. But,
yeah, cool. All right. So I'm pretty much done with what I wanted to show or try out today. I don't know if you have any additions.
So for me, this is always where the fun starts. So now you have some custom recipes, and now I want to check, do they actually work on 1,000 projects? So I'd spend 10 minutes of multitasking on different things while waiting for it to be validated. And that gives me the confidence then to typically push it out and make it available to folks. So if you use this flow and you come to some recipes that you think would be worthwhile for others, definitely reach out. Like I'm happy to help go over, review, and improve the recipes and validate that they work well. And that's how collectively we can help more and more folks upgrade their own projects as well. So
that would be nice. To modernize more applications is always a good cause, I think. More banking apps, especially.
We all want to have like our money well secured, such as you can use a phone app and know that your money is not being deducted twice or silly things like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, Tim, you'll be at JCon, right?
Yes, I'll be there. I have a workshop on the first day and a presentation probably on the second day. So
That's great. Then we'll see each other for sure. And if anybody wants to join JCon, that would be lovely. I'm really looking forward to it. It's already next month. Yeah, almost exactly in 1 month.
2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
I'll paste the link with some like a discount code. That's it.
Yeah. I think I still have like 20 coffee coupons from the last time I was there. But.
Yeah, yeah. These are always a good investment, but I'm not sure if you can use them this year. So, but
we'll see.
You can try. Yeah, great. So, Tim, thank you so much for joining me and for showing me all that stuff. That was really interesting, and I think it will help me a lot in modernization.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's a lot of fun to show like what we do, how we approach things, and see that it works well on your machine as well. It's just a nice bonus.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, and to everybody else, have a great evening. Well, Tim, you too, and see you next time. Bye.
Thanks.